computer. Okay. Hello, everyone. We're going to start the recording now. I'm Pamela. I'm hosting the Incentive Trip Boot Camp Zoom tonight. I am going to talk all about events. And like I just said earlier, our beautiful Jen is not able to join us tonight. She has trusted me with this endeavor. And so I hope I do her proud. I am Pam Willett. I'm going to be talking about events today. It's one of my favorite things to do about in my Scentsy business, and I'll share with you why that is. Before we get started, I need to remind you, please go in and update your list of 100. If you're not at 100 yet, add a few more names this week. If you've already talked to people on your list of 100, add more people to replace those ones. Keep that list of 100 going fresh. Check on it often, and use it. That is one of your biggest tools. I am 14 years into this business and I still do my list of 100. Okay. My little tip is my little ADD brain cannot do 100 all at once. I break them up into 10s or 25s, and then I go from there. So however you have to do it, again, I can't stress how important that list of 100 is. And you will appreciate that as you keep doing it and understand why it's so successful. Get your 10 opportunity packs out, get them into people's hands. We have those fabulous rub and sniff stickers you can even put in there now. Get the smells under their noses, right? That phrase, the smelling does the selling. It truly is fact, 100% fact. So get your opportunity packs out. This month is the best month ever to join Scentsy, right? We have that wonderful fall host kit with the fairy tale pumpkin warmer for $40. $40. It's a great deal. It's a steal. And I talked about that a little bit last week. And we're going to talk about what your challenge is at the end of this Zoom. So let's get started. Let's see. I got lots of notes here. So let's talk events. When I talked earlier on this page, on the incentive, the Bootcamp page, I kind of gave you a little bit about my story about how I started, and I wasn't going to do, events or parties or anything like that. My God, that would be embarrassing. I was a teacher. I was a professional. I had a college degree. I was just getting this wax so that I could get it as a discount, right? I'm not doing that because what would people think? And I'll tell you what, people think it's amazing that I'm still doing it after 4 years. And they love coming to see me at events and booking parties and all the things I never said I was going to do ever. It's the most fun job in the world. That's all I have to say. Bar none, the most fun. And I've had a lot of jobs. I still have a few hats that I wear. So in that whole I'm not ever going to do this, mindset that I had, because I was quite a little negative Nelly back in the day. And I was just telling somebody at the event that I just did this past weekend, when I first started, nobody knew anything about Scentsy. Yankee Candle was king in my part of the world, and you could not convince anybody otherwise. That was just the way it was. And so it was really an uphill battle for me to even start talking Scentsy. So I didn't even talk Scentsy for the first few months that I did it, just that I knew I had a good deal going because my house wasn't going to burn down and everybody was going to be safe. And eventually I got to talk enough people into thinking the same thing up in my neck of the woods. And all of you consultants who over the years have contributed also to that wonderful thing. So let's talk about the very first time I agreed to do a craft fair. My first craft fair was up here in Presque Isle, Maine. That's where I'm from. I live way out by Canada. Hey, Karen, I love seeing your face.
Hi.
Hello. And we have something here. We had it twice a year. It was called the annual trash and treasure sale. All right. So, and it is just exactly what you would expect it to be. It's a huge yard sale. That's it. All the yard sale stuff you can talk of, from beautiful crafted items to that stuff should just be thrown away. What do you think in putting a price tag on that? Okay. It's like runs the gamut. So here I am, and for whatever reason, I got inspired by a call or a training. It was probably one of the Becca calls I used to listen to every Saturday, faithfully, without question. And I guarantee this probably where I had this brain cramp to go do an event. Now, I had almost nothing for stock, nothing. Okay. So, like I said, I was probably a couple of months into this thing. I started in October, really didn't open my kit until about December. Started smelling things around January, talking a little bit about it. So, this event was in March, I believe. I didn't I think I put one or two orders in. Like I said, my first check was $100 and I was pretty excited about that. It was a real check at the time, paper check. And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this I'm going to do this trash and treasure event. This will be amazing. It's going to send my business off into the stratosphere. So I get there. I think I have like 2 warmers. I might have 12 or 13 bars of wax, a handful of scent circles and room sprays. That is it. That is all I had. Basically what my starter kit gave me and whatever, I had accrued over my ordering history, which wasn't much at the time. Then I get there. I'm in the middle of this great big, we call it our forum. So it's where the ice hockey rink is. So it's a big tin building, cement floor, huge, huge, huge. And I've got this little 8x10 space, like in the middle of the spot. Around me, I've got these 2 little Frenchmen, the Lagassis. And they're like, what is she doing? Like, I was like, I had no idea what I was doing. I had this little table set up, but I was going to do this event. And I put my stuff out. And from there, I developed the love of events. Okay. And we're going to talk about why. Did I have lots to sell? Did I sell $2,000 worth of stock? Not even on a bet. Not even on a bet. But I had a ton of conversations, and that's what is the most important about events. So let's talk about events. Where are you going to figure out where to find them, how to get them? Because that's like the biggest question I get. How do I get events like you, Pam? So for my people who join under me, that is, something that's a little bit perplexing to them because they always see me at events, or you typically, if you're in a small local area, you typically see the same people doing the events. Well, I did it just like everybody else did it. I looked up the Chamber of Commerce. Some places call it a business league in your town, Chamber of Commerce, business league. Basically, it's the civic organization that deals with your local businesses in town. So connect with somebody there and they know all the events that are going on. Maybe they have a Facebook page or a website and they will have all of their items listed. The town or city that you're in, they usually have a rec department, right? And they'll have all of their activities listed for you to see. They usually have a calendar of events for all of their activities. And there's going to be all kinds of, activities from, like back in the day, we had the peanut festival during one of the school breaks, and it was just something at the rec center for the little kids, and it runs the gamut to 5Ks. Not everything is going to be something suitable for you to set up as a display, but that's where you get to check out and see what's available and what's going on, and then go from there. Check out some of your groups, all right? Your local Boy Scout groups, your local military groups, like your VFW, your Legion, your auxiliaries, the ladies auxiliaries, your Lions Club, your, oh my gosh, there's so many of them. All of these civic groups that you have in your area. And depending on where you are, they're called different things. You have your Masons, your Shriners. All of those are always looking for fundraising opportunities. And so sometimes they'll put on craft fairs or they'll put on events where you can set up a table to create, your own space and do your thing at an event. You know where I still find events? On bulletin boards in public places. I was just at a town office in one of our local towns. I was doing something there and I happened to look up and I noticed, now this would be for a fundraiser, but I noticed the library sponsors a sleepover night. Bring your favorite stuffed animal. Bring your favorite stuffed animal. In my mind, I'm thinking, Why wouldn't they just want to provide them a stuffed animal and I can help them with that, right? So always be on the lookout for different opportunities. And like I said, back in the day when I was a kid, that's where everybody put everything for sale. And if they had a garage sale coming on all these local bulletin boards, all the local places had them, the laundromats, the libraries, the town offices, um, all of these places will have those bulletin boards for you. Now, of course, a lot of them are online, classifieds, those sorts of things, but they're still out there, right? So you can see them. Just keep your eyes open. The opportunities are everywhere. Uh, if you go to a craft fair, talk to the crafters there. How do you get into these? Who do you know? Like, what are some great ones to get into? Do they already have a Scentsy consultant? What do you know? What is their policy? All of those things that you want to look at. Let's see. Again, like I said, church groups, chamber groups, veterans groups, school groups, boosters and high school, middle school, all the PTAs, they're always usually doing some sort of bazaar or craft fair to raise money. They're always looking for raising money. And that's what your booth rent goes towards. Sometimes you'll pay $10, sometimes you won't pay anything, and you'll be asked to provide a donation for whatever auction or thing. I have something I do up here. It's uh, just a group of volunteers who we up here in Maine, we have our town days, right? So we have Presque Isle, we have the Balloon Fest. In Mapleton, they have Mapleton Days. They're doing fireworks, they have get-togethers, they have craft fairs, they do events for kids. That costs money. And so they're doing fundraisers throughout the year. And a lot of times those fundraisers are craft fairs and they charge booth space or space, and that adds to their money to put on these different events. We have Easton Field Days. In Fort, we have the Potato Blossom Festival, Caribou Cares. Like I said, a lot of your local towns, and I don't know if this is just specific to us. I know Karen, probably down where you are, you have the same kind of thing going on, right? Maybe you have like field days and different like weekends where your town gets together and does stuff. 4th of July, Memorial Day, those organizations are always looking to raise money. And again, events and craft fairs are a really good way for them to do it. I just did a fireman's muster this past weekend. They were looking for money to help donate. They were doing donations. So they had crafters and vendors come in. I paid, I don't know, I think it was $20 for my space. And there we go. And it was something for the firemen's wives to be able to attend and keep them busy and happy while their husbands were out doing their muster business, because firemen, they have to compete with each other and do all the man things. So it's kind of fun. So there's so many places to look for opportunities for events, but you have to look and you have to ask. That's just simply. I remember going on Facebook, literally typing in Facebook, craft fairs, Maine, craft fairs, New Hampshire, craft fairs, Southern Maine, craft fairs, Presque Isle, craft fairs, Aroostook County, all the different ways you can look things up to find where the events are happening. Now, does that mean that you're going to get into them at that particular time? Not necessarily, but it gives you an appreciation and a connection to go look other places for your events. Now, let's talk about events. Our standard, and if you look at Scentsy standards, can more than one consultant be at an event? Yes, they can. That is up to the event coordinator. Do we love it? No, not really. But you know what? It's fine. It's fine, right? That is up to the coordinator. You don't get to make the rules for the coordinators. They get to make the rules for their own party. It's kind of how that goes. So, but it is allowable by Scentsy standards, and just play nice in the sandbox. That's all I have to say. Because at some point it may happen to you and the golden rule will apply and you're going to want that done to you. And the thing is, make connections with those other consultants. If there's another consultant at that event, go introduce yourself, make connections, because you guys, if you're in the same area, you can probably help each other out. I mean, if you forgot to order a Christmas cottage room spray and you're like, oh crap, it's the 13th of December, it's never going to get here in time for Christmas, they're going to be so upset with me. If you've already made friends with this other consultant, hey, do you have a Christmas cottage room spray? Oh, thank you so much. Nobody does anything but benefit if you introduce yourselves, be nice, be thankful that there's somebody else there to share the Scentsy journey with in your area. That's what I love about Scentsy. We really, for the most part, all get along really, really good, even if we're not even in each other's groups. Let's see. Again, one of the best things you can do is if you have friends, ask them where they do. If you have a friend who makes mittens and they do craft fairs, ask them, what is your favorite craft fair? Do they already have a Scentsy consultant? It never hurts to ask. Maybe they already had one, but maybe that consultant can't do it that year because the date doesn't match up. That happens a lot. Not everybody's available every single weekend, right? Okay. That's all I have about how to find places. Do you guys have any questions at all about that so far? No? Okay. All right. So now you have your event. You've got it, you've nailed it, and now you're going to figure out how to do your event. And again, you have no product or you have very little product. Remember what I said? My first event, I had nothing. I literally could bring it in 2 bags. That was with the tablecloth and all my signs and all my paperwork, 2 bags. I was thinking I was pretty hot stuff back in the day with my 2 little Frenchmen next to me wondering what the heck I was doing. They did not understand what I was doing. It was so funny. They had all their garage sale stuff and here I had all my brand new Scentsy stuff. I'm not taking $4 for that. No, that's $5 for that wax. No, that warmer's $20. I'm not taking $8 for that. This is what we're doing here. That was interesting. So I always say whether it's an event, whether it's a home party, whether it's a fundraiser, whether it's anything you're doing, figure out your game plan before you get there. Don't kind of just wing it. Winging it works sometimes, but really have a game plan because what you're going to do is you can, whether you have tons of product or not, you can still print off materials to support your game plan. The best single thing about events, okay, it's not the product that you sell, it's the people that you meet. Are you going to meet all of these people sitting at home? No. Are you going to meet all of these people, all of these different people every day you go to work? Not usually, right? Not usually. Some of you may have interesting jobs where you run into different people every single day, and that's amazing. This is your opportunity to start the conversations that you wouldn't normally have on a day-to-day basis because you're getting fresh faces, fresh questions, fresh interest at your booth. And you need to take advantage of this. So what is your goal? Do you want to get new team members? Do you want to book parties? Or do you want to do sales? And I'm going to tell you right now, sales are fine, right? But you don't have much product. Or if you do, good for you. You can get rid of some product. But the product should just be what brings them into the booth so you can start having the conversations with them. Okay. Make sure you have your testers and your order forms no matter what, because I forgot my testers one time. It's not a fun day. I was also 3 hours from home, so my hubby wasn't going to run them down to me. All right. Let's talk about at the event. Okay. At the event, don't sit behind your table and watch people walk by. Don't do that. You just threw your money away. You just threw your money away. If you sit behind your table, you have a big table between you and anybody that walks by, you know what they're going to do? They're going to walk by and they're barely going to look at you. Barely. They might look at you and be surprised that they see you there behind the table, behind your stuff, because you're probably looking down at your phone. Don't do it. Stay home if that's what you're going to do. And I know that sounds mean, that sounds tough, but you might as well because you're just wasting your time and you're wasting your money. Don't assume that they already know about Scentsy. Don't. You would be surprised at how many people came through my booth on Saturday that had no idea what Scentsy was. And these are firemen people, right? Fire wives, fire husbands, fire people. We are perfect for that crowd. And they had no idea what Scentsy was. Don't prejudge. Do not prejudge somebody walking by your booth who has, torn clothes, or they might be dirty, or maybe they're looking a little ratty that day, or maybe they're looking like they just stepped off of a fashion magazine cover. Okay. Do not prejudge. You don't know where they just came from. You don't know if they like Scentsy or know about Scentsy. How could you? You don't know these people. Don't prejudge. And the biggest thing, don't overthink this. You know Scentsy. You love Scentsy. Share that. It's so contagious. It's so contagious when you share your absolute enthusiasm and love for Scentsy. Okay. So here we go. Don't sit behind your table. Don't assume they already know Scentsy. Do not prejudge, and don't overthink it. Okay. You got this. I know you got it. But here's what you do. You do invite them into your space with a big smile. All right. So they're going by and they're looking kind of grumpy, and you're like, hey, how are you today? I hope you have a great day. You don't even have to say anything about Scentsy, but just because you are smiling and saying, hey, hi, I see you. I see you, and I want you to have good things happen to you today. That maybe they won't stop in. Maybe they'll walk on by. Maybe they'll walk on by and come around and go, I'm going to check that out. She was pretty cool. He was pretty cool. He tried to welcome me right into this booth. I got to go see what this is all about. Can't be too bad if this person's still happy and smiling and it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, right? Do ask them, do you know about Scentsy? Do you know about Scentsy? And many of them will say, oh, yeah. Well, if they do, don't just let it stop there. Say, oh, you do? What's your favorite thing about Scentsy? What's your favorite warmer? Be excited. Because if you're not excited, how are they going to be excited? Okay. Sometimes for people, this is hard, especially if they're a little quieter and they're shyer. That's me. When I first started, I would have just loved to stay behind my table. But Becca and Jen trained me to never sit at a chair at your booth. I do now because I'm old and it hurts. So when nobody's going by, I go find my chair, and I hear my knees crack when I sit and stand. But 14 years ago, I didn't even bring a chair, and I would have been mortified if somebody had caught me sitting down. Like I said, a little bit's changed. we mellow over the years. Ask them what their favorite product is. And once they tell you, I had a guy this weekend, it was a gentleman. Oh my gosh, I have this warmer and this warmer and this warmer and this warmer. And I'm like, well, what the heck? I can't tell you anything about Scentsy. You tell me about Scentsy. Why aren't you doing this? And they just stop. Like, well, what do you mean? I'm like, okay. I said,
Huh?
I'm not going to tell you that you have to be a consultant, but just let me
Yeah,
tell you the deal is this
you
month.
are.
And I will tell you, I give them the spiel. You can buy from your own self, $40, what the minimum requirements are. And, I think they're really considering it. So, you can just make them see how easy it is to be a consultant and make them feel heard. Don't rush them. Don't go, oh, yeah. That's a good one. Yeah. That's a good one. Yeah. That's a good one. Right. When they're telling you what they like about Scentsy, listen to them, let them talk, let them share their enthusiasm for Scentsy. That gives you the opportunity to talk to them about either hosting their own scent event or maybe leading in with the business. We try with the hosting or try with the joining, and then lead in with the hosting, especially when they look at some of the product that you might have, because you're going to have a catalog, right? You're going to have a catalog. And if they say, oh, I love the little garden warmer. Oh, did you see our cute little witch warmer this month also is an element warmer? Look at this. It's so cute. And she's got the dangly legs. How stinking cute is this? And, I love changing and having an opportunity to have something different for the holidays, right? And it's a $65 warmer and or $58.50, on special this month. But, and they might think, oh, that's a little bit high, or I don't know if I have the money to spend this month, or, got to buy the kids the Halloween costumes. Oh, we have the best ways to have scent events. I don't typically say parties anymore. I say scent events, because that's what we create with them, an event. And you talk to them all the ways you could party with Scentsy. You have a sit and sniff. You can take a bag on the go, a show on the go, I call it. And I tell them, I'm gonna give you these little things that look like lip glosses. You're gonna want to put them on your lips, but don't. You're gonna smell them. You're gonna share them with your friends, collect your orders, and this is what we can do with it. Know how your party plan works, though, guys. Don't go into this not knowing how that works. Um, brush up on your parties, on what they can earn for free and half off. Again, talk to them and listen to them. That is going to be the best thing that you can do for them. Do use this time to project your business forward, move your business forward in a positive direction. And the conversations, if it's new for you, if you've never had these conversations with people, if you've never done events, if you've never worked with the public, it's something that you build. It's a skill. Okay. Just like riding a bike, just like learning to write. The first few times it's awkward. You get red. You maybe you're a little clammy. You're just like, you're clearing your throat because you're nervous. By the end of the day, you're going to be rattling this stuff off like you have never not done it. All right. Again, my first event, I was like, oh my God, what am I doing here? I didn't cower behind the table. I wanted to, but if I did, you wouldn't see me behind my neighbors and their piles of bikes and wheelbarrows. So I needed to get out so that people could see what I had in my little 8x10 booth, because the Frenchmen were going to take over my space if I wasn't careful. You have to get out there and show people how excited you are for your business. And you have to have your handouts or your samples or whatever you're going to give out reflect what you're trying to accomplish, whether it's hosting, whether it's joining, what that is. All right. So I think I'm all through my notes already. That was fast. Oh, it's 8:30. It's half an hour. So make sure you plan ahead. Go check out all the opportunities that you have. And then here's your challenge. Are you ready? Yes, Karen. People are very hesitant on the word party. It's like the big ick, right? So yeah, they think, oh my gosh, I've got to clean my house. All these people are going to come over. I'm going to have to cook. Yeah, because back in the day, that's what they did. One thing I really got my hosts in tune with, I said, okay, you want to have a home party. Do not make a bunch of food, because I'm going to tell you right now, nobody's going to eat it. Something salty, something sweet, two things. And when you say that and you say it with conviction, they're like, oh, okay, I could do that. I said, don't even cook. That's what they have delis for and bakeries for. You go pick that stuff up at the Shop and Save at the Hannaford, and people love it. Just do it. And so, throw all your stuff in the closets. Nobody's going to open up your closet doors. So make it easy. But yeah, definitely party. It's hard, but definitely when you say a scent event, it definitely helps take that stigma off. So it's good. Yes. Thank you for pointing that out, because it's very true, Karen. Okay, so here's your challenge, because I squirreled and I went off on a little trail there. Go find and book your own event. 2 weeks. Try to do it. Try to find one. And you may not be able to do it because obviously they have certain dates, right? You don't get to control the date that they have their event. But try to find an event and go do it. You can do it. I know you can. And then report back. We want to hear all about it. Jen is going to be posting some supporting videos. I know Katie Farner has a great video on YouTube and talking about how to do events. I think a lot of us, you're going to find, we all are going to say a lot of the same things. Get out there, talk to your people, smile, make them feel welcome, make them feel heard. Don't prejudge them. You never know. That one that looks like a doctor strolling by your booth looking very important might be your next rock star recruiter on your team. So if you guys have any questions, I'm happy to help you with those. And I think Jen will put the post on there about where to put your where your events. Yeah. Maybe. Oh, who else have we? Hey, Terry, how are you? So nice to see you. And Melissa. Nice. Good. All right. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, so that's all I have. Whoops. My Siri. Apparently, I must have said something like Siri because my phone is going off like crazy right now. Okay, so that's all I have for you. You guys, you've so totally got this. Events are fun. They are ways that you can branch out. You know what's a really fun thing to do at an event is make up a little coupon for the fellow event attendees. And before the show starts or during it, when you have a little break, say, go hand them out to all the fellow participants and say, hey, I'm so happy you're here. I'm Pam. I'm with Scentsy. I love what you're doing here in your booth, whatever it is. You have beautiful cups, you have beautiful mittens, you have beautiful blankets, but I just, I want to share my love for Scentsy with you. And here's a sample, or here's a coupon for $5 off your order, or here's a whatever, they love samples. Everybody loves samples, right? So that's a fun way to start making connections for you to learn about where more events are going to be. You're going to find that if you start doing events and you like them, you're going to continue, and the same sorts of people you're going to see at the same events. The same vendors typically tend to go and gravitate towards the same ones each time. So you're going to start making a lot of friendships in other ways with events. Yeah, that's what it was. Yes, for sure, Terry. Yep. Nope. No, there she goes again. Oh, shut up, phone.
Your northern accent.
Yeah, I know. Oh, too funny. Oh man. All righty. All right. Well, I guess that's all I have. You guys, I think you can do this. I love events. Again, I never said I would do them, and they're really one of my favorite things. I love them. They're too fun. It's easy because I pretty much stay at home now, and what nursing jobs I have, they're not necessarily looking for Scentsy. Scentsy, I run a laser at a med spa, so I'm inflicting pain and torture on people. We're not talking wax and warmers. So this gives me my opportunity to get out and chat with the public. So always, always fun. All righty. Well, you guys all have a fabulous night. I'm so happy to see you on here, and good luck with everything. I can't wait to see what events you guys do. See ya.